Hello everyone and welcome. Today I want to talk about the mind and more specifically I want to talk about neglecting the mind. I've recently almost discovered that that's what I've been doing. Yes, I've been meditating and I've been on this spiritual discovery, but I have found that perhaps there has been maybe too much focus on that and my mind has been neglected. And I find that on this journey it's very easy to do that because an understanding or an experience or a knowing is that you are not your mind. But it's important to know that you do have a mind. You may not be it. You may not seek your identity from the mind, which is thoughts, but you have one. And just like you maintain the body with how you eat, the types of foods you eat, and exercise, the mind needs to be maintained also. I listened to a podcast and the host was asking a psychologist, his name's Jordan Peterson, which you may have heard of because if you were listening to other podcasts, or you may have heard his name, and he's also been in headlines. But I felt a bit strange listening because part of what he was saying I wasn't able to relate to or identify with, because coming from this spiritual place, this place of no form, no identity, sometimes it's hard to process some of his concepts. But just to focus on some of the things he did say was maintaining your mental health. And he mentioned 5 or 6 things that by doing these 5 or 6 things, or by maintaining these 5 or 6 things, that you would have a healthy mind state, or your mind will be healthy. And one of them was career, and this can mean many things to different people. Some people may see that as a 9 to 5, or other people may just see that as their kind of dream job. But it's almost by having a direction in a career path, whatever that may be. It could be artistic. Another thing was family. And again, it's not a case that you must have these things, because family may be, for you, people that you're not related to by blood, but you see them as family, you have that closeness. So I kind of see family as having a very tight circle of people, a closeness. So it could be your relatives or just people in your life, but having some sort of family. And friends as well was another area, so that's 3. And he mentioned a relationship as well. And for me that was a bit hard to process, because I've heard from other spiritual teachers talking about don't, seek a partner and develop yourself. And I guess there are no black and white rules for this. And I think for me in my journey, I think that's what I'm looking for, rules or frameworks, or how does this compare to this, when it's almost like it's a blank canvas in a sense. And yes, we're working with ideas and concepts, but nothing, I guess, is in stone. Some things are relevant in certain periods of our life, or certain moments we'll have an understanding that didn't exist before, or we'll know, oh, this is the right thing for me right now, whether that be a relationship or maybe goals in your career. But it really got me thinking in regards to maintaining these areas of your life. And another area he mentioned was routine and schedule. He mentioned it's really important to have a routine. One of the things he said was, for example, waking up the same time every day, that it syncs up your, I can't remember the technical term he used, but your body syncs up with that. It gets used to waking up each morning, which means your body's used to shutting down at a certain time. So there's almost a system in your body that regulates that, and by going to bed at the same time, or I should say by getting up at the same time, it helps regulate that. Yeah, but I find it so easy to forget about the mind, to not know that the mind it needs to be maintained, because it's part of our makeup in this form. Yes, we identify, or we come from this formless place where you can see the mind, you can see the body, but I think that's something that I will begin to focus on. And maybe it would be something that you can kind of think about yourself right now is, yes, you want to develop spiritually and be at peace, but is there anything you can do to help keep your mind in, I guess, tip-top shape? Maybe a way to put it. Just like you do with your body, you may have a routine for exercise, or doing yoga or lifting weights, whatever it is you may do. Perhaps it's something you can think about, how can you maintain the mind. So for me, I guess I'm, unfortunately, with the 6 areas he mentioned, career, family, relationship, friendship, routine, and I think there was 1 or 2 more things he mentioned, but I think he said if you have 3 of those, then you've kind of given yourself a chance, or you're getting something that's helping to maintain the mind. At least 3 of them. I'll have to maybe rewatch that, but as he listed those 6 areas, I realised I didn't have any of those areas, which was it kind of hit me that, I haven't paid enough attention to the mind or given it what it needs, just like we give our body what it needs as well. So that's something to reflect upon. And I will record a separate audio as a journal update as well. And I was reflecting upon the journals I do. Why do I do it? But maybe it's many reasons. Partly perhaps it helps me to share. There's a word for it. I can't think of it at the moment, but perhaps I can use the word for the moment, therapeutic. There is another word. And perhaps in those lessons of my story and my journey, it can help others as well. And perhaps there may be one or two that may be interested to keep up to date with the journey I'm taking also. And it's a good place, I guess, to reference lessons or ideas as well. But okay, I'm going to bring this audio to an end, but I wish you well and speak to you again very soon.